Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a cult member. I was helped by my Nigerian boyfriend that I was dating. I am a Zimbabwean man that is staying here in South Africa. When I came here to South Africa, I never thought that I would end up sleeping with another man, but things happened, and I really do not know what happened in that moment when this Nigerian guy kissed me whilst we were by the robots, waiting for the robots to go green. He suddenly touched me and he told me that he wanted to go with me to his house, and I agreed. When I came here to South Africa, I started staying with my elder brother, but he's my cousin brother, and each and every day he would take it upon himself to remind me that the reason as to why I came to South Africa and I was able to work in South Africa, it was all because of him. If it was not for him, I was going to be back home struggling to get by, and it was very terrible to work for my elder brother. Me and him, we fought one day. After he had insulted me, he then insulted my sick mother as well, whom I had left back home in Zim. He insulted my father as well, and the reason as to why he was insulting my parents, it was because my father had called me, and my father had called me to inform me that my mother was really sick, so there was money that was needed in order for my father to take my mother to the hospital. And then I took some money that I had and I sent that money to my parents back home in Zim. And then that was when my brother insulted me, and he said that I was someone who thought that he was clever now that I was able to work for myself. And I decided then to move out of his apartment. The reason as to why he wanted my money, it was because he had spoken with this other Indian man. So this Indian man, he has several businesses as well as buildings that he owns in Joburg, so he rents them out. So he wanted someone to rent out one of the building, and my brother was busy looking for money, and he wanted my money as well so that he can rent out that building. So when I told him that I did not have money, he insulted me. And I started working for my brother when I came here to South Africa. He took me because he understood my situation that I was facing back home. When I was still back home in Zim, I was just a hustler. I would sell stolen laptops as well as stolen iPhones and other phones. I then started dating another girl that I loved, and I still love her to this very day. And this girl, she is the one who has brought me to this channel because I want advice as to what am I supposed to do with him. I still want to be with her for the rest of my life, and this girl, I am supposed to use her as well in rituals. That is what pains me a lot, and I need advice from your listeners. Me and this girl, we started dating each other, and then I made her to fall pregnant for me. And when I made it fall pregnant for me, it seemed as if the parents, they did not want that to happen, and they then took their daughter, because after I had sent my relatives to speak with them to tell them that I wanted to marry their daughter, then they refused, and they said that I was too poor and I was uneducated. They wanted someone who was educated to marry their daughter, and me and their daughter, we loved each other. She ran away from home and she came and we started staying together. When they found out that she was staying with me at my parents' house, that was when they came and they took their daughter by force. So then my brother, when he heard that this was what was happening, that was when he came back home for a holiday. And when he was returning back to South Africa, that was when he said that I'm not going to leave you behind. I am returning with you back to South Africa, and I agreed to come with him to South Africa. We came to South Africa, then we started working, we started staying together, and then that was when I became friends with the Nigerian guy who made me to become part of the cult, it is like a church, a Nigerian church, but it is only for men, and these men, they have to sleep with each other. As for this Nigerian guy, he told me that ever since he came to South Africa, that is what he has been doing, sleeping with men, those that love to sleep with men because they love it. But as for him, even I do not enjoy sleeping with another man. I only do it because that is where my money is coming from. So he makes those men to believe that he is in love with them, and they give him everything. And whilst he is sleeping with them, he uses them for rituals, like the way that he used me the first night that we spent with each other. After we had started making love, when we had finished making love, that was when he said, "Thank you very much. You have assisted me. There is someone who just came right now and gave me money." And I was like, "What do you mean when you say that there is someone that just came now and gave you the money that you wanted?" Because he told me that he wanted to buy a Range Rover cash at this other dealership. So this Range Rover, he wanted to buy it, but he did not have enough money, and he had to sleep with a man in order for him to get that money. So when I slept with him, then I had helped him to get that money. It was spiritual money that had been brought to him whilst we were busy making love to each other. He then said, "I really feel so sorry for you. I know what your brother did to you. I also want to assist you so that you can stand up on your own. I want you to join me. I want you to become a part of a cult." And I agreed because I thought that this was going to assist me to get my girlfriend's parents to like me. I did not know that once you become part of this cult, you are not supposed to sleep with a woman. I have not slept with a woman ever since I joined this cult. I only sleep with men. So I thought that this was a good thing that I was doing. I was going to become rich, and I would return back to Zim, marry my wife, and return back to South Africa, and we enjoy life. But later on, that was when I was told that I was unable to do that because I am supposed to follow a covenant whereby we only sleep with men, and when we sleep with men, we make them to wear dresses so that we can degrade them, because that is satanic for a man to wear a dress. This is what I was told in that cult. So Brother Nashi, I joined this cult. Then that was when I started making money regularly. I do go back to Zim, and when I go to Zim, I sleep with other men, some of them that are married, and they do not even know that I am using them for rituals. I stay in a very nice apartment. I am making my own money, but the problem that I have is that I want my woman back. I want to be with her, but how can I be with her when I know very well that I will never be able to sleep with her? We are going to use some charms on her so that she won't desire any man. She won't want to sleep with me until we die. And this is what I have been told in this cult. Should I take my wife, or should I let her enjoy her life? When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother right there. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Then there is another message that I want to share with you, and this message, it was sent to me by one of our brother, and the message, it reads like this. Hello Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man that is staying here in South Africa. I am married to a South African woman, and me and him, we went to a traditional healer, not because we wanted to. We went there because of some of the things that were happening in our lives. It was not by choice to become a ritualist. We were trying to save my life because at work they had given me what they call in South Africa slow poison. So this slow poison, what it does to you is that it kills you silently, and it is very painful because it takes a very long time for that slow poison to finish you up. When I came to South Africa, I had ran away from my responsibilities. I was once a married man, and me and my wife, we used to love each other, but things got so bad when our economy crashed back home in Zim. So my wife, she started cheating on me. When my wife started cheating on me, I would go and I would speak with her parents, and then her parents will say, what do you want her to do? Because you are unemployed, you are unable to take care of your family. So what do you want her to do? Let her chase men that are able to take care of her. That was very painful for me, Brother Nashi. And then that was when I decided to run away from my responsibilities because I was unable to take care of my kids. Even though I knew that the food that she would bring home, it was the food that her boyfriends would have bought for her, still I will eat that food. And when I would try to tell her that some of the things that she did as a woman I did not approve, she will say that, so you only approve when I bring groceries that my boyfriends would have bought for me. And it was very toxic for me. So then I ran away from my kids and I came to South Africa. When I came to South Africa, I started working at a certain farm. So at that farm where I was working, I was someone that had good discipline, and my boss saw that I had good discipline. That was when he started teaching me how to weld. I became a boiler maker. So in the farms, there is this other trailer that a tractor can pull that is called a slavery trailer. I could make one of those trailers. My boss will just go to town and buy the material and I would make it from scratch. I was someone that was very experienced. I then came to Joburg, and me and my South African wife, we met by the farms, by the way. She did not meet up with me when I was all rich. She met me when I was poor and nobody who was working in the farms. We came to Joburg together. We started staying at her relative's place, and I would go around just dropping my CVs looking for a job. And then one day I was called by this other mine. Since I was someone that was highly experienced as a boiler maker, when I started working at that mine, so there were people that did not want me to work at that mine. So at that mine, the people that were working there, they were Mozambicans. There were people that were from Malawi, as well as mostly people that were South African that were working there. There were Zulu speaking people, because what they did at that mine, when you were about to die, maybe if you were sick, then the boss will tell you to go back and to take your child so that your son can work in your place. And this is the reason as to why only people from Mozambique, Malawi, as well as KZN were the only people that were working at that mine, and they did not want anyone else to work at that mine. So when they found out that there was this guy who was now working with them and the boss loved me quite a lot, they started hating me, and we were staying in the hostel. And in the hostels there is a lot of witchcraft that takes place because people will be fighting for positions. And I was unfortunate because the bosses, they started loving me because of my experience, the way that I would do my job, and this made the people that I was working with to hate me even more. So they bewitched me and I became so sick and I was unable to walk because I had a big wound and it felt as if my leg was rotting whilst I was still alive. Me and my wife, we then went to Durban. We saw this other traditional healer, and that traditional healer assisted us. The healer then told me that I was good as dead, and in order for me to continue living, he was going to give me a tokology. He said that I cannot refuse. He has to give me this tokology, otherwise I am going to die. So then I agreed, Brother Nashim, to be given that tokology, and that is how me and my wife became ritualists. But what we did not know, me and my wife, was that when we made a sacrifice of blood, because we slaughtered a bull there in Durban for this tokology, it was getting used to that blood that we had given to it. And then my son passed away, and after my son had passed away, we then returned back to Durban, where we were told that this tokology, it wanted blood and I was supposed to sacrifice. And when I was told that I was supposed to sacrifice, it was so painful for me to do these sacrifices. And then that was when I thought about it. I said, to hell with the children that I had back in Zim. They do not give me any benefit at all. I am married here in South Africa. I have my own wife here in South Africa. So that is all that matters to me. That was when I decided, Brother Nashi, to sacrifice my children, those that I left back home in Zim. As for my ex-wife, the one that I left back home in Zim, she has gone to different prophets, to different pastors, and she has been told that I am the one that sacrificed our kids. She has tried to do so many go back to senders, but she is unable to do anything to me, because this theology, the more that we give it blood, the more that it becomes more powerful. So this is my own confession. The next time when you hear about someone who became a ritualist, they are sometimes when people do things that they do not want to do. Because as for me, if I was not going to get this theology, truly speaking, I could have died a very long time ago. So I was fighting for my life. To those that have worked on the mines, to those that have stayed in the hostels at the mines, you know that witchcraft, it is for real. A lot of stuff happens in the mines, things that will shock you, and people bewitch each other. If it happens that you get hired and they do not like you, like as for me, they were shocked to hear that there was another person who had brought their CV and had been hired, because they knew that if anyone wants to get hired, they were supposed to be a relative of another person that was working at that mine. So me and my wife, we do drink blood, because we are now into tenders. Me and my wife, we have a company, we do tenders. So we drink blood, we sacrifice a god before we take our papers for a tender bidding at the municipality. And when we drink the blood without corruption, we win the tender. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Your strange things indeed they do happen in this world. If you are a ritualist, if you are a witch, a satanist, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on TikTok or on WhatsApp and tell me what is it that you do in the rituals that you perform. If you are a witch, tell us. If you are a satanist, you can also tell us, so that we can know what you do. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.